All right, so this is how we generated millions of views, thousands of followers from scratch in only 4 days. We did this with just 3 clippers and without spending over a couple $100 or more than an hour a day to actually set this up and manage it. So here are just some screenshots. I don't want to show the actual accounts just because my creators asked to keep it private. So here is why the clipper model absolutely cooks. For Meta, if you want to run ads, the average CPM or cost per thousand views is $7.43, or cost per million views would be $7,430. Whereas for a clipper, you can pay 10 cents for 1,000 views or only $100 per million views, which is 1/74th the price of Meta. And it's more organic. There aren't going to be people commenting nice try Diddy under your clips. Or you can pay more, like in our case, we're paying $50 per 100,000 views just because it's the first time we're launching this and we want to incentivize people more to actually like put in a lot of work. And even then, like $50 per 100,000 views is not like crazy amount of compensation. Also, the amazing part about this model is you don't have to be constantly managing the clippers. Like it's not super hands-on where you have to like set up campaigns, choose what you want the campaign to be optimizing for, shoot creatives, write copy. Like you don't have to do all that bullshit. You literally just like set it up and let the clippers cook, and it's very passive. And it's just a ton of volume, which I'll get more into that in a second, but you can pump out a crazy amount of volume. So here's like a high level overview of the model is one, you just send out an application and get clippers on board. Two, from those people who fill out the application, onboard a small group with a little course and community for them showing how the process works for them. Three, have them set up their accounts. Like each clipper will have one Instagram, one TikTok, one YouTube. And then on Instagram and TikTok, they're only going to be following one account, which is the main creator. So they're funneling all the traffic to the main creator, and you'll have the main creator's @ in the bio. And then bonus points, you want the clipping accounts to look as if the main creator owns them. So for example, all right, say you're a clipper for TJR. Your clipping account would be TJR Alt or TJR Clips or TJR Clipping Official, something like that, where it looks as if you are an official account owned by the main creator. And you want to funnel all the traffic to them, have their @ and bio only be following the main creator. And if you have Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and you post 2 clips per day across all 3 platforms, that'll be 6 clips per day per clipper or 180 clips per month. So if you have 10 clippers posting 2 clips a day across all platforms, that's 1,800 clips per month from 10 clippers only. Insane volume. And then you pay your clippers out through WAP bounties, which is like a new feature that they're kind of dialing in. But one of my friends who works at WAP was showing me more about that, where they're basically going to turn WAP into like a meta dashboard where you can view, like it integrates with the different social platforms, and you're going to be able to view metrics and pay clippers out based on the metrics that they get. And that's coming like very soon. So that's really cool what WAP's doing. And then finally, you just want to dial in the systems, make sure that everything is going well for the clippers, there aren't any bottlenecks, and when everything is working smoothly, then you can bring on more clippers. But really to start, just start with a small team of clippers. So for sending out the application, what we did is we sent out a Typeform application on all platforms. So Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and ideally, if your creator already has a low ticket product or even just a high ticket product, you can send it out in there too. The best clippers we found have came from inside an existing product because they already love the creator the most. They know the creator the best, and they're going to be more motivated, and also just like higher quality people. They're not going to be glue eaters. So yeah, like I said, collect name and email, role description, compensation structure. Add bonuses. Bonuses are super important. Because really think about this like you're selling the talent. Instead of selling a product, you're selling the talent, trying to attract the best possible clippers. So the more incentives you can offer, the better. Like for example, we offered a product that normally costs $1,000 and we're giving people lifetime access to it. And that's an extra incentive, is like if they stop performing or they stop posting consistently, then we remove access to that product, which they value very highly. And then, yeah, the rest of questions, if you clip before, most amount of views generated in a month, link the best performing clipping account. And then you want all these type form responses to go into a Google Sheet. After that, build a Clipper course and community. So the course was hosted on WAP and the community was hosted on Discord. So in WAP, like I said, you can pay people out using WAP bounties or whatever other payout method you want to use. And then we just had a little course breaking down some things like how to get paid out, how to access content, how the creator wants to be branded, which is super important because all these people are going to be representing the creator. And so, for example, my creator goes to a very liberal college and someone posted a clip of him saying something that could have been seen as pretty offensive. And that clip went crazy viral. It got 1 million views. But then we had to take it down because my creator was scared he'd like get in trouble with his school. And then also show the Clippers how to get support and how to set up their account. The community, we found that people are a lot more active in Discord rather than WAP. The WAP community is honestly like kind of mid, so I recommend using Discord. Get a general chat, wins channel. Wins is super important because people it just helps people stay motivated. And then a voice channel for you to talk to the Clippers to talk to each other, and announcements whenever you drop any important updates for them. And then onboarding, basically you just go through the responses in Google Sheets and then email the Clippers who have done at least 1 million views in a month and have proof. So they need to actually link their social media pages. If they say, yeah, I got 1 million views, but the account got banned or whatever, we just don't let those people in because right now we just want to start with a really high quality small group of people. You want to email them, send them an invite to WAP, make sure the WAP is a wait list. Otherwise, random people start to find your clipping WAP and join. You want to keep it a small group at first, so make sure it's a wait list and then only let people into the WAP who like you personally reached out to. So you send them the email with the WAP invite, they join the wait list, then you let them in through the wait list. And then when they join, they just go through the course. They'll ask you any questions in the chat, you answer their questions, and then the course will show them like, here's how to get access to the creator's content. Ideally, to run this up, your creator needs to have a lot of long form content. It could either be through YouTube or live streams or whatever. For us, the creator didn't have a ton of long form content. They only had like an hour of YouTube content. So that's part of what we did is we gave Clippers access to the low ticket product where they could get clips from the group calls. So that's kind of like the creative method that we're using, and it's working really well because people like all the clips are the low ticket product, which then makes they see the low ticket product and they're like, oh, this is fire. I want to be a part of that. The Clippers can record with OBS, and then they actually ended up making a group Google Drive. So for example, not everyone's able to make it to one of the group calls. One Clipper can go record it and then upload it to the drive, which is super cool that they have this like sense of camaraderie and they're all helping each other out. Inside of the course, like I said, you want to make sure that expectations are set well. All the Clippers understand how the creator wants the branding to be done because at the end of the day, they're representing the creator. And if the Clipper is selfish and prioritizing views over the creator's brand, then you can just reserve the right to deny their payout. After that, once they're set up, once they're cooking, you want to double check everything, make sure that you actually have good hygiene standards. There aren't like shitty clippers representing the brand poorly. Make sure it's not a shitty username, shitty profile pictures. Make sure everything's set up properly, funneling everybody, all the traffic to the main account. And at the end of the day, only a couple of your clippers are going to produce 80% of the views. So you really want to motivate and basically just glaze your best clippers to make sure they stay active, they post consistently, they're helping other people out. And when your best clippers do post like, hey, I got 1 million views, make sure the creator goes in the community and celebrates their wins. Because like obviously if you're the manager, like you're gonna have some sort of authority or frame in the community. But at the end of the day, like most of the Clippers are going to be most attracted to the creator. So if the creator is going in there, engaging the community, celebrating the Clippers wins, that's how they're going to stay the most motivated. Also, this is really important. If your Clippers aren't being active, if they're not performing, just don't give them a second chance. Like I've found that most of the time, if somebody doesn't do things well, or if they're not active and they say they're going to change, they rarely do. Just let them go, because that energy is infectious and it drags the whole team down. Or if they're just like bots, like for example, I gave 100% off discount code to this one Clipper for him to get access to the product that's normally worth $1,000. Everybody else got access just fine. And then he couldn't like figure out how to get access. And so that was like the first red flag. And then we moved to a Discord community and he couldn't figure out how to join the Discord. And I'm like, all right, bro, you can't figure out how to join a Discord. Like, how are you going to get 1 million views on a clip? Like, I'm sorry, bro, I have to let you go. And this is just like a talent note. So the most dangerous people on your team are B players, not C players, because C players are evident. You know they're the worst. You know, like you have to let them go. But the B players are the players who are, you just tolerate enough and you kind of make these excuses in your head just to keep them on the team. But you, at the end of the day, only tolerate A players. Let the B players go, because energy is infectious. B players attract more B players, and A players attract more A players. So hygiene is super important. And then, yeah, like I said, like three of our Clippers are generating all the results, and the rest of the Clippers pretty much do nothing. And here's what makes a great Clipper. Number one, they study. I've been going back and forth, like sending voice notes with our best Clipper who's gotten millions of views. And he's like, bro, I spent hours and hours going through all the biggest creators' clips in this niche, diving deep into who the prospect is, like going through AI, fully understanding who we're marketing to and how to market to them. Like they need to treat this like it's their own business, and they're actually doing research and they're putting the time in after hours. So they study, they're active. They reach out to you first. They'll DM you. You don't have to reach out to them to check in with them. They'll reach out to you, right? They'll drop all their wins. They'll message other Clippers. They'll help other people out. They'll give them suggestions, and they don't require hand holding. You don't have to show them how to do everything. They figure stuff out on their own. An extra bonus is if you're learning stuff from your Clipper, then they're a keeper. All right. And final notes and learning points. Like I said, add extra incentives. Don't just pay people with money, give them exclusive bonuses. Just how you'd sell a product, you need to sell the opportunity of working on the clipping team to attract the best possible people. Again, we did this by giving them access to that product and just giving them private access to the creator. Number two, I don't want to take like all the credit for the results we've gotten, because a large amount of the credit relies on the creator. If people love the creator, you'll have no shortage of Clippers who are interested. And if your creator's a nobody, it might be a little bit harder to find Clippers in their audience, where you might actually have to go out, join clipping communities, and pay people a little bit more to keep them incentivized. Another thing, super important, great Clippers can't compensate for a boring creator. If your creator is super boring to watch and they don't create clippable content, like you can't really blow them up. You have to have a creator who is just like exceptionally funny or out of pocket or just saying random things, who just generates an infinite amount of clips. And then you can have like mid clippers who just get those amazing clips and you'll blow up. And then this is just like training any team, is it always requires more time at first. So you need to treat your clippers like babies at first potentially, and just like give them all the support they need. And then once they're self-sufficient, it's honestly really, really, really passive. Like right now, I don't really even spend time managing the team, and they're blowing up, getting hundreds of thousands of views every single day. And I just like check in with the chat, celebrate their dubs, answer any questions, but it's like mostly self-sufficient. And most of the time, Clippers who are actually like good Clippers who are actually A players, they'll just join and they'll just start killing it right away. You don't even need to manage them or train them at all. So just to wrap up, I am new to all this. I've only been doing this for like a few days, but in that short period of time, we've gotten millions of views, thousands of followers. But this is just what's worked for me. I'm by no means an expert, so take everything in here with a grain of salt. And then this is specifically if you're an operator for a creator, you typically have little influence over traffic. Your job is to convert traffic, but you rarely can control how much traffic you actually have. Paid traffic still requires a creator to record most of the time. Like you can write the copy, you can run the campaigns, whatever, but most of the time you still need the creator to actually record the video unless you like pay a random person to record it or like get AI or whatever. But most of the time you need the creator to record it. However, clipping is the easiest permissionless form of content that you have influence over. All you need is the creator to have existing long form content, and you can create infinite clips of that long form content, and you can just create traffic out of thin air. So clipping is also just becoming more and more valuable in the world we live in. Organic traffic is just super powerful. And just to show the power of this, literally a fucking country reached out to my friend and was like, hey, can you help me run clipping? Because Qatar, their economy is built off of oil and oil doesn't last forever. And so they want to build up tourism as a big part of their economy. And so they're like, yo, can you run my clipping so we can get a bunch of tourists and like diversify our economy, which is hilarious. Like clipping is super, super valuable. So yeah, that is pretty much everything.